Hello and Happy New Year, everyone. This is Fnatic, and seeing as how I'm such a big fan of Lobotomy Corporation, I decided it would be a good idea to do a tier list and just let you all know on what I think about all the wonderful abnormalities there are in this game. So without further ado, we might as well get right into it with everybody's favorite. Oh wait, before I do anything like that, should probably explain the tiers. That's pretty important, seeing as that's how I'm going to be rating these. Okay. So from the top, I've mainly organized these by how much I'd like them in my facility, ranging from my those that are really useless or really annoying to those that are really helpful, and those that I just want at my facility in every single run I do, and I have a special rank reserved for those top 3 abnormalities that I really just never want to see ever. And if you've played this game for even a few hours, actually more than a few hours, you can probably guess at what they're going to be. Well, let's get started with Wanson. Everybody's favorite abnormality, and good reason, is the default. You're literally stuck with him unless you use the bug that gets you whatever you chose because you decided to restart or repo in the middle of it. Anyways, Wanson is the tutorial abnormalities. Completely harmless, gives you plenty of gear, good gear in fact, and yeah, he can also carry your prudence and temperance training for like the entire first week, so yeah, there's that. So that's immediately like 2 out of the 4 stats crossed out in terms of training, and he provides SP recovery if you do good, which kind of hurts the training, but he's good, he's just good. He's just good. There's nothing else to say. Plague Doctor, on the other hand, is the complete antithesis of good. In fact, he's a herald of something very, very, very bad. But unfortunately, we're not ranking WhiteNight here, we're just ranking Plague Doctor, and Plague Doctor, strictly speaking, is completely beneficial to the facility. However, it's impossible to overlook his connection with WhiteNight, and he also possesses people. He has a lot of ways in which he possesses people to add them to the clock, so he is going in the annoying tier. Oh yeah, by the way, when I say useless and / annoying, it means useless or annoying. It's either one of the 2 categories. I'll clarify which one it is. But yeah, Plague Doctor is annoying. Just annoying, bro. Don't touch me. Another abnormality that I will put... Actually, I'm going to put it in the very annoying tier, because if you press it, it forces a restart in 9 out of 10 occasions. Don't touch me is, well, on the bright side, you don't have to worry about it melting down ever, and you can just... which makes it good for a bit-proof facility, and, it doesn't do anything. It just sits there, changes appearance, and if you can keep track of it, it just does nothing, and in a facility where anything that does something even remotely bad is really, really hard to deal with because there's 20 of those things, yeah, something that does nothing is actually quite a big help. But if you have Plague Doctor in the facility, good luck keeping track of that goddamn button. Next, World Cheers. World Cheers, another tutorial ZAYIN abnormality. It's got the capacity for insta-kill, but that's like nearly all of the ZAYINs, so who cares? You do well on it, it gives you drinks, it gives you healing. Training, which means the training sucks, but it's a ZAYIN anyway, who trains on those? I mean, it can do your fortitude training on like the first week, I guess? But even so, fairies are better, so whatever. Yeah, not much to say about it. It gives you guns, which are actually really good. They help with Amber Dawn like a lot, so... Gonna put them in mostly helpful. They don't really help much, but they give you something. Actually, no, they don't even give you that much. I'm putting them in sorta helpful. Mirror of Adjustment, on the other hand, this is something I want in my facility on every run I do. Because the Mirror of Adjustment is... Look, it's just really good, okay? Here's why. So, let's give you a scenario in the early game. Say you've got a couple of agents that are... Say you've got, like, Wanson, you've got Welch's, you've got Fairies, you've got Free ZAYINs. You've got the capacity for training 3 out of 4 stats, basically. You don't have you don't have a Justice Trainer, so... If you've got unbalanced agents, you can send them to Mirror and pray you roll Justice. Or, even better, you can roll Mirror, try to get some stats low so you can use Lob to get them up, because, it's cheaper. For that one, okay, that last tip, that applies more to the mid-game when you have agents in around, like, the consistently level 2 to 4 range. Like, say you've got an agent with level 4 fortitude and, like, 2 everything else, you can try and use the mirror, distribute that fortitude onto some of the other stats, especially justice, and whatever rolls 1, if it's not justice, you can use lob to level it up. It's a bit RNG, but, you know, it's harmless so long as you don't use it more than once a day, so, look, I'm not complaining. And in late game, you know, even in late game it has its uses. You can send like an agent with like level 5544 into it, and whatever gets lowered to a stupid amount, you can focus on training that or lob it up later, because, you know, lower stats train faster. And so yeah, that is why Mirror goes in the get the fuck into my facility tier. Next, am I gonna order these? I'll figure out how I want to order them later, but I'd still... If we rank lower as more useful, yeah, I'm putting Mirror above once in. Fairies. Putting them in sorta helpful, sorta useless, annoying. Annoying, the annoying part of it, because sometimes you just randomly have an agent die, because reasons. But to be honest, like, it's a fortitude trainer, it's just a fortitude trainer, like, that's it. It can carry for, like, the first week, maybe 2 if you don't get a fortitude trainer and information, but, like, other than that, it just gives you red penitence weapons and, like, basic gear. You get 5 of it. It's basic. Not much to say about that. So, yeah, Wheelchairs is better. Wheelchairs is better. We can change anything. This one is an interesting one. This one is an interesting one because strictly, there are 2 options I can go with this, because once you've fully researched it by sacking, like, 6 agents into it, it's a dead slot. Like, it doesn't melt down, you don't need to touch it, and I'm like, don't touch me. If you click on it, that's fine. It doesn't do anything. You can just unclick on it, click away from it. But it doesn't do anything, and, like, while usually that would give me enough grounds to put it in mostly helpful, I'm more inclined to put it in very useless, because it's a tool. It doesn't give you gear, it doesn't give you training. And then, like, some of the other tools, like Mirror and some others I'm gonna put in the get the fuck into my facility tier, it doesn't give you, like, any overall benefit, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, that's why it goes in the very useless tier. Don't touch me is still worse, but yeah, okay. You must be happy. Mostly helpful. Oh, who am I kidding? Tools are worthless in this game. It goes and get the fuck into my facility. It's free stats. It's free stats when you need them. It semi-chases HOD's suppression, and it's a really big help earlier in the game when you need agents to survive stat checks. And yeah, there's nothing else to it, you know? You just put an agent in, wait like 10 clicks or so, pull them out, they've got some stats, and you can use those stats, do whatever you need to do. So yeah, it goes into here, and still not as useful as once in a Mirror, because, you know, it is a tool, and unlike Mirror, it can't train. Like, I mean, I guess it kind of helps in training. It increases stats, allowing agents to work with higher risk abnormalities. But then again, with higher stats, they're harder to level, so, whatever. Old Faith and Promise. It doesn't do anything. Like other tools, like, it's another, you know, you ignore it, you never really use it unless it melts down and you actually bother to interact with it. Like, you can use it, sure, it'll buff up your weapon damage, sure, but it's by such an insignificant amount that it doesn't really matter, and the fact that you can just straight up lose your ego, it's just not very... Actually, no, I'm putting it higher, I'm putting it in here. It's like, it goes in the category for being both useless and annoying. Useless because it doesn't do anything, and annoying because it just deletes your gear at random, so... Yeah, good luck if your ALEPH level agent loses their gear on day 49. Why would your ALEPH level agent be working a meltdown when they could be slapping Binner anyway? Whatever, anyways. You're bold. Oh boy, you're bold. This absolute jerk of an abnormality, and I mean that in the most objective way possible, because it's literally a jerk. It goes in... I don't think it's helpful enough to be put into mostly helpful. I'm putting it in sorta helpful. And it's only sorta helpful. It's not useless. I mean, it's not annoying, but it is pretty useless. I mean, well, you do get white damage guns, and if you can get that early on, that's humongously helpful. But I'm pretty sure by the time you get this, it has to have been at least information. And, well, there are other options at that point. So you've got Old Lady, first of all. But still, white guns are white guns, but there is a limitation, of course, in terms of how your agents look. Like, you need your agents to be bald. So if you like agents with hair, too bad. This abnormality and its gear is not for you. Training-wise, you know, sure it deals black damage, so it can train everything, and it really can train anything on bald agents, but it's got 6 boxes, and it's a ZAYIN. It's not training much. So, bald is awesome, so it's going above fairies and watches. Alright, next, moving on to the TETHs. Scorched Girl is... oh boy, Scorched Girl. We're putting her here, and we're putting her below bald. Actually, yeah, we're putting her above bald, actually. Scorched Girl. The main draw from Scorched Girl is... actually, I should probably explain, like, my criteria from now on when I go over how much I want a certain abnormality. Generally, I go over 4 pieces of criteria. So first you have how good its training is, then you have how good its gear is. Oh, gift goes in the gear section, so I'll just call that the ego. Yeah, the ego check. Third is how easy it is to manage, like, is it really annoying? Does it constantly demand your attention? Or can you basically leave it alone unless you want to interact with it? You know, something like that. How easy it is to keep in check. And the 4th one is just any other tidbits, like special stuff, special features that a certain abnormality may have in regards to certain things. Like, for example, Scorched Girl breaches really easily, which is good for Hod and Gevra's missions. So you can break her out if you want a quick suppression. And her suppression is actually pretty easy. Like, you just need to keep your eyes peeled and look for the marked agent or clerk, have them run, and then just beat her up. It's an easier version of suppressing Punishing Bird, basically. So, yeah, manageability aspect, not good. She breaches, like, if you don't have, like, high temperance agents, she breaches all the time. It's fine, because she's not much of a threat, but if you've got, like, someone like Red in the facility, that becomes more of a problem, and yeah. Training-wise, Insight is her best work, which is bad. She deals red damage. Her fortitude rates aren't the best. It's like 40% or something consistently, or whatever. I think her repression rates are actually better, so she can somewhat function as a justice trainer, but they're still not as good as her insight rate, so she'll be breaching all the time anyway. So, training is a meh. The gear, well, the gear, I've got to speak about that. You get a red resistant suit, really good for the early game with those annoying ordeals, and the cannon, it's just a lot of damage, okay? It's a lot of damage. You get someone with good enough justice, and they're outputting frankly crazy amounts of DPS for a TETH weapon. But yeah, not much else to say about that, yeah, still, because she breaches too often and her training is kinda terrible, I'm putting her in only sorta helpful. Teresia. I don't think I've ever encountered a scenario in which Teresia has been helpful. It goes in useless annoying. It's more annoying than Plague Dog, like, it's just a thing where it's a memory check, you know, you have to remember it when you're sending someone in to clear the meltdown if you actually bother to clear it, or during, you know, Venom suppression or day 49. So, yeah, not much else to say about it. You ignore it, unless it's been on day 49, in which you frantically try to remember it as best you can. Alright, time for a way better abnormality. Old Lady, mostly helpful. Easy, that's not even a question. Old Lady is... well, she's very demanding, she's like a more demanding Punishing Bird, but so long as you have someone constantly working her, she's not really any big deal at all, and the Solitude is... if an agent's prudence is at least 2, they can tank the Solitude hit, it's fine. But yeah... Old Lady, likes Temperance and Prudence the most, no, not Temperance and Prudence, Attachment and Insight the most, which is really, really good, because she deals white damage, and so she's a really good Prudence trainer for the early game. And a serviceable Temperance trainer, considering that's her best work. So training-wise, she ticks that box. Gear-wise, well, she gives you white pistols, which automatically, like, even though she gives you suits that have a 1.5 to red, she gives you white pistols, which are really, really good in the early game when your agents are panicking and running around and screwing about and all that. So you don't have to goddamn chase those wandering agents around. Jeez, I hate that. Oh my god. Manageability, and even better, like, in the late game, like, you can ignore her without any real punishment, unlike a certain punishing bird, because she'll just go in solitude, and, you know, if you want to clear it for whatever reason, any agent at that point should be able to tank the whole thing. And yeah, there's not much else to it. There's generous cliff-off counter, good ego weapon, good training. Yeah, she's mostly helpful, that's all I can say. Lady facing the wall. Lady facing the wall is hard to pinpoint. She has different uses in the early game, like before and after HOD suppression. It's like, she's most useful, like Old Lady, she's most useful before the HOD suppression in the early game, because, like, I'll put her tier first. She goes above Scorch Girl, below Old Lady. So, she likes Instinct all the way to 5. The thing is, she also likes, Insight and, Repression, but only for levels 1 and 2, so she can actually function as a trainer of one of those. Mostly Justice, like, I really like using her to train my Justice up from 1 or 2 to 3, and then I get, you know, some of the good old boys, Funeral and Fry, to train it from 3 and higher, so yeah. But, after they get above that point, like, Lady Facing the Wall kind of becomes useless. Like, at that point you just work Instinct when she melts down, and, you know, as long as you don't have attachment, and remember the stat check, like, they even give you 2 chances for the stat check, and the white damage is what, like, how much white damage was it again? I think it's enough to, like, cause, like, any... I think it deals, like, 30-something in white damage, correct me if I'm wrong? Whatever. Either way, it's like, you've got enough, with a cliff-off counter of 2, you've got enough warning time. Like, so even if you do mess up, you'll realize, oh, hey, I messed up. I need to remember not to do that again. Attachment work, that can be a bit detrimental if you forget it, or during Malkuth suppression, so... yeah, but overall manageability isn't really that hard. She trains really well. Oh, Ego. Oh my god, the white crossbow. It's like the white pistol, but better in every single way. Jeez, oh my god. Honestly, I'm putting her in mostly helpful still behind Old Lady, just for the goddamn... that crossbow is so good for the early and even the mid-game, honestly. When you're struggling with getting enough Vavs and ALEPHs to outfit all your facility, and all your... the worst half of your facility are running on TETHs and Haze. The crossbow, cream of the crop. Sure, it's got a pretty harsh stat check, but, you know, it's worth it. That crossbow is worth it in every sense of the word. Holy moly. Completely demolishes any ordeals weak to white, of which there are quite a few, and against panicking agents, oh my god, panicking agents no longer a threat, even the runners for this one. Next up we have Megahertz. Yeah, it's going mostly helpful. It is one of the few Justice, the best TETH level Justice trainer, outside Crumbling Armor, if you count it. But yeah, it's a TETH that trains Justice. That alone should clue you in on how much I like it. Like, honestly, I'm very close to putting it into Getting. You know what? I put You Must Be Happy, and I'm putting this in. Yeah, I'm putting it above You Must Be Happy. Megahertz is a TETH level Justice trainer, and god, how many more times do I need to repeat it? That's all. Like, at lower levels, you can also train Prudence on it if you want. But, like, that's not the main point. The main point is, it's a TETH level Justice trainer. Other than that, like... anyways, enough about the Justice training. The Ego. Let's move on to the Ego. The gift is interesting. It gives you less SP but more attack speed if you have the suit, which is weak to red, so but, like, if you want, like, a ramp in attack speed and someone happens to get the gift, I mean, if you're short on ego, you can chuck them the suit and give them some weapon that doesn't not scale off attack speed, and, you know, have them benefit from that. That works. But later on, like, it's not going to come into play, and to be honest, that's not really a bad thing. Like, you know, you can just completely ignore the gift's synergy, semi-synergy with the suit. So yeah, training. So yeah, ego, it gets a pass. Like, it has no weapon, is it? No, I can't really call it a pass. It has a red weak suit. Ego is mediocre. But the training is, again, TETH level Justice trainer. I mentioned that. Manageability? Just do repression. You do repression, it doesn't get pissed. And, you know, worst comes to worst, you just keep working it and have all your agents just hide out in the main rooms and hope the agent you sent to work with it doesn't panic along the way. Well, in the early game anyways. In the late game, if its cliff-off counter actually reaches 0, you've done something very wrong. But, yeah... is the Justice training enough to put it above You Must Be Happy? I might move these two lower later, but for now, I'm keeping them there. Spider-Bud, mostly helpful. Above Old Lady. Suit, immediately have to mention the suit. It's got 0.8 to red, white, black. The best TETH suit, one of the best TETH suits, if not the best TETH suits? Not sure about that one. I'll have to check some other time, but anyways, it's one of the better TETH suits. You only get one of it. You get 3 of its weapon though, which is essentially Red Penitence, but like Wing Beat but better. And Red Eyes, that's what it was called. But yeah, Red Eyes weapons, you know, they can deal with things that aren't Amber ones pretty easily. You just they're just mash sticks. They mash things. That's all. Training. Fortitude training, that's the main draw of this guy, Fortitude training. Well, hard to say, this Spider. The Fortitude training is, again, completely jacked. Probably the best Fortitude trainer of outside maybe Armor. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure it has higher instinct rates than Armor does. And it deals the same amount of damage, I'm pretty sure. Maybe less? Oh, whatever. But yeah, good Fortitude trainer. And also a passable Justice trainer as well. Once someone's got enough HP and isn't weak to red, you can send him to train Justice perfectly fine. Like, its rates for Justice aren't the best, but like, it can still be done as long as, you know, they've got Prudence 2+. So yeah, Spider-Bud goes in mostly helpful. It gives you a nice ego suit, it trains Fortitude and Justice. And by how high I placed Megahertz, you should understand you understand how much I value Justice! Just wait, Megahertz does kind of fall off. Whatever, I'll leave it there for now. I'll most likely move it in a bit. Anyways, time for Megahertz's stupid little sibling, Beauty and the Beast, which is effectively Megahertz, but worse. It goes here. It's again, it also toes the line between useless and annoying. You remember it incorrectly, it's an insta-kill, and its training, you know, it's not the best. It does give you red spears. It gives you red spears, and it is a Justice trainer, sort of, except you're shoehorned into always doing Repression Insight. It gives you red spears, again, those are good. The suit, they're red resistant, what more can I ask? Gift is nice looking. It's a really boring abnormality, that's all there is to it, jeez. Yeah. Useless. Do I put it in the useless tier? No, it trains Justice. And anything that trains Justice, even passably, is not quite completely useless. Buff. Another white dealer who... well, much like Onsen actually, a white dealer who trains Prudence and Temperance. You use it to train Prudence and Temperance, that's it. It gives you white daggers that are functionally useless for panicking agents, but, you know, whatever. The Ego is weak to red, the last I remembered, which is, fine, I suppose. You know, you mess up with it, you can mess up with it, it does have a stat check insta-kill, you gotta watch out for that. So, goes below Scorch Girl, and Gear is better. Not sure if it goes below Beauty and the Beast, though. No, it doesn't quite go that far yet. Forsaken Murderer. Oh, wait, no, I just praised Spider-Bud as being one of the best Fortitude trainers. When this guy exists. Yeah, no, this guy's better. He takes all the boxes, frankly. You got hammers. The hammers are, frankly, the worst part of Forsaken Murderer, in all honesty. The suit, red resistant, good for all deals. His manageability. As long as you do Instinct, he probably won't escape. And even if he does escape, he's really, really easy to put down. You know, like Scorch Girl, he's a tutorial breaching TETH. So, yeah, not much to it. Just, you know, and if you want him to breach, just do repression. It's really easy, and then that helps out for Hod's mission. So yeah, easy to breach, good eco suit, good fortitude training. What's not to love? Oh, the breachability, bro. I'm putting Spider-Bird higher. Punishing Bird. Get into my facility right now. It goes above everything. Punishing Bird. Oh my god. Punishing Bird on day 2. I think I've had that in like every single run of LobCorp in my 200 hours of LobCorp that I've played. Because Punishing Bird is just... Jeez, what am I supposed to say? Well, now, Punishing Bird on its own is not really useful. Not really useful. You get red guns, which are good for those pesky Ambadorns. You get a red resistant suit, which is good. You get a frankly harmless breaching TETH, and if you need to suppress it, you can. It'll be a DPS race. You know, you'll have someone shoot it and then run, while everybody else chases that goddamn bird down, like a Benny Hill cartoon, and hope that you manage to kill it within the time limit. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, manageability completely fine. You just work it every now and again. Instinct is its second worst work, so though it deals red damage, it's not the best Fortitude trainer. But if they have Fortitude 2 or higher, send him in. It'll be fine. And its best works are Insight and then Attachment, so, you know, since it deals red damage, it's technically a better Temperance trainer than a Prudence trainer, but like, if you just want boxes and your agents to actually survive, you do Insight. That's just how it is. But yeah, you know, I can come to the main point. The main point of why Punishing Bird is so important is because of Apocalypse Bird. You need Punishing Bird for Apocalypse Bird, and therefore that immediately ranks it to the top of the list thus far. Next up we have Fragment of the Universe. Ooh, oh, Fragment, it goes high, it goes in mostly helpful. I think a lot of these TETHs are mostly helpful, jeez. Yeah. It deals black damage, and likes Attachment and Repression, which means it can train the 2 hardest to train stats in the game, Temperance and Justice. Immediately a massive bonus. It has black damage spears that can boost your SP. Spears, they deal damage fast and won't miss. And, you know, more SP, that's always nice. It means your agents will die instead of panicking, which in many occasions is often better. But that's mostly in the late game, and by the late game you probably have Prudence 5 agents, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, whatever. So it has a 1 to red, 0.6 to black though, so, you know, just Violet Dawn won't be killing anybody, I guess. Oh, and if you have to deal with any, like, black damage hail, like goddamn Funeral, not Funeral, Defray, or Letitia. Oh, Letitia's armless. I can't think of any good example. Basically, Fragment good. It's, like Forsaken Murderer, it's also really easy to breach and, you know, beat down for Hod's mission. That's always nice. And so yeah, it's mostly helpful. Crumbling Armor. This is another complex one, and I think now is the time to put You Must Be Happy and Megahertz down, because I'm putting Armor in front of it. I think I'm gonna put You Must Be Happy, yeah, it's a tool. It's not gonna be as high as some of these, putting it here. Sure, it chases Hard Suppression, but like, it's not that good. Putting it here. It goes above your Lady Phase level. Crumbling Armor. Theoretically the best Justice trainer, to the point of giving you a gift that gives you plus 20 Justice in exchange for minus 20 Fortitude. But of course it gets you that really awkward gift, and if you aren't explicitly planning on it, that means you have to go work inside on once in about 10,000 times to get it off. And it also locks, so unless you have like someone with Temperance level 5 getting the gift, like, I can't recommend doing Repression ever. But yeah, outside that, it does have a really good niche in training Fortitude really well, like the best of them. Yeah, it probably won't kill your agents in the process. Probably. Yeah. Special bonus, actually I'm moving it into here, get fucked into my facility for this. Pale Damage Katana. Pale Damage Katana. If you have any weeaboo agents, give them this. They can now deal pale damage. Sure, you aren't actually dealing percentile damage to abnormalities, but it doesn't matter because so many of them are weak to pale anyway. It's amazing. Jeez, oh my god. Suit, also nice. It doesn't have any weaknesses in red, white, black. Sure, it's only got a 0.9 to red, but you know, that's fine. I'll say this is 0.6. I keep remembering it with 0.9 to... Doesn't make sense if it doesn't have a 0.6 to red. Gonna assume it has a 0.6 to red and just keep it there because it's good! It's good! Bring a mirror mouth punch bad. Okay, heart. No reason for you not to pick this ever. It's literally like the second best tool in the game. Third best tool in the game. I'm correcting that. You get 3 HP and attack speed. You slap it on someone and never have him put him back for the entire day. It's just free stats. There's nothing else to it. Meat Lantern immediately goes in the very annoying tier. Above these two, actually. Maybe below, don't touch me. Yeah, above it, actually, yeah. Meat Lantern. Oh my god, I hate this thing so much! It comes out, boom, it has every opportunity to land outside a containment cell where one of your agents are working, and if they don't have Mimicry, Paradise Lost while WhiteNight is in the facility, or, what do you call it, Twilight with crazy high, Twilight or Adoration with crazy high fortitude, they're dead. That's fair. Jesus. In all honesty, oh my god, I hate Meat Lantern so much. Demands you have a Temperance 1 agent working on it. And I mean, it trains Prudence. It trains Prudence, I guess. All those Temperance 1 agents, like, look, just... You get it in the upper layer, you get it in a sire, you repo it out of existence, and never bother with it again. Well, after you get its gear, of course, you get a black damage hammer. It's a hammer, unfortunately, but it's spike damage, which is nice. Yeah, the suit, oh god, I don't remember if suit is weak to red or not. Look, even if its suit is, like, even if the suit is, does endure red, like, it's still so goddamn annoying. Oh my god. Never pick this. If you fully researched it, never pick this. Please. Skin Prophecy, sorta helpful, sorta useless, annoying. Goes below most of these because it's a tool. I'll use it to separate the ZAYINs and TETHs. Actually, ports are genuinely more useful. It's genuinely more useful. It's a tool, goddammit, and one that you never use. It gives you prudence but weakens your white resistance. There are precisely 2 occasions in which this is helpful. A, if you're dealing with a really problematic black damage abnormality. No, not a really problematic black damage abnormality. One particular really problematic black damage abnormality, censored. You're dealing with censored, and you jack someone's prudence through the roof so they don't immediately die, and you don't immediately panic. Since it deals black damage, doesn't really matter. It's the best tool for this, second best is Portrait, and yeah. Second usage is if you have someone with Silent Orchestra, Da Capo, Certain Gift, and for funnies, you just want to ramp their white absorption through the roof for whatever reason. I mean, sure, it's not gonna do much, unless they're in a fight with an entity that does black damage, an entity that does white damage, and like, you know... Yeah. Fixes, I guess? But the fixes are programmed never to show up in the same room anyway, so... Unless, like, the white fixer does the funny radial attack while the Da Capo agent is fighting the black fixer, I can see that. But either way, a Da Capo agent can feasibly actually, no, they can't. I wouldn't put bets on them 1v1ing a fixer. Yeah, no, and besides, you want to completely dogpile the black fixer anyway so it doesn't breach anything. Whatever. It goes in sort of helpful, sort of useless, annoying. Like, it has very niche help against censored and, like, no other use anywhere else. But that saves it from this tier. Alright, Shylock. Oh, Shylock. Top view. Actually, you know what? I'm swapping these two. Crossbow's good, but what Shylock offers is better. It offers training on all 4. Fortitude, Prudence, Temperance, Justice. It trains all 4 if you can get the timing right. It gives you Black Gun, which is good for, you know, again, Amber Dawns and the like. Good early game, very nice early game. The gift is completely grotesque. I have to mention that because it's so unique in all the worst ways. The suit is... I remember black was its best resistance. I'm pretty sure it endures red. Yeah, if it endures red, it's good enough anyway, but... Trains all 4 stats, gives you guns. And that's it. Easy to manage. Doesn't breach, it doesn't do anything. You can ignore it if you want. Does training on all 4 types beat out the crossbow? No. No, I'm inclined to say no. Doesn't beat it. Does training on all 4 types beat out funny flame cannon? Yes. Alright, bracelet. Another one for the very useless annoying TM factor goes above those because it is bugged. Even if you unbug it, like the healing, like... Jesus H, like, oh my god. Yeah, it's another memory test like Teresia, but like, it's an insta-kill instead of a panic, and a very rude one at that. Because of how useless and annoying it is, especially if you don't get the mod that fixes it, like, I'm putting it a tier above Teresia because, at least with Teresia, there's no caveat, you don't need to have him be at, like, max HP and SP for that. Complete contrast to our other TETH tool over here, our next TETH tool, Behavior Adjustment, which only goes slightly below Heart of Aspiration, because it is technically a debuff. It lowers your prudence but increases your justice. Fair trade, honestly, whatever. You pick it up and ignore it for the rest of the day, like, it's free justice, what can I say? I'm not sure if someone can have Heart or Behavior Adjustment on at the same time, like, but like, I'd be inclined to like to see that. Someone on the justice. Not sure if they can do that. Anyways. Void Dream. Void Dream. I'm a fan of Void Dream. Not as good as Justice Training, not as good as Justice Training. No, better gear, better gear. Goes here, actually no, better than Second Murderer. Like the Second Murderer, you can bully it, you can breach it out really easily. Good Bard's mission like that. Just dogpile it with your entire facility. And as for manageability, it likes attachment the most and is feasible with instinct and insight. So you can theoretically train 3 of the 4 stats, which is always nice, especially because it deals black damage. Weapon, kind of bad. Like, it's effectively a white pistol. Like, it's fine, kind of bad. You know, it works. It works. At least unlike a certain other white damage bubbly pistol. Oh wait, no, this one's a sound pistol. This one's a bubbly pistol. At least unlike Ecstasy, it's actually like decent. That aside, you know, it's a temperance trainer. That's nice. I like I'm all down for the temperance trainer. Suit, weak to red. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah. Although it has worse ego than Forsaken Murderer, the better training means I'm putting it higher. Grave. Annoying, useless. Factor goes top. Oh boy, another one that lowers... Oh, it's an abnormality that lowers on good results. Oh boy, I hate this so much. Japanese translation team, your idea for this, that was great. Your idea for this, not so great. But yeah, kills people and potentially panics more in exchange for a full heal after the next work. It's just so hard to time, mate. Like, even if you do want to make use of it, you work good times, you let a clerk get dragged in, make sure no agents panic, and then you get the full heal. Like, that is a lot of setup time. As for the gear though, the suit is weak to red, but its drip immediately makes it stand out, meaning I'll give it a pass. I'm not giving it a pass, but whatever. The fan, a multi-hit white weapon. If you catch someone in the right spot, I think it has really good white DPS, so if you've got like a murder or suicide or sabotage panic going on, a murder or suicide panic usually, you can dish out a lot of white damage with this thing, with its multi-hit attacks. But yeah, not much to say about it, just don't touch it, like, at all. You don't want this in your facility, like, grab it for the cool looking ego and leave. That's all I can say. Bode. Now this, alright, I think this is this the first backer abnormality? Yeah, this is the first backer abnormality ranking, and it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. It's... no, we're putting it, just a little below, Second Murderer, because those are very short weapons, and those can interfere with Green Midnight and such. So yeah, Lobotomy. You train Fortitude on it, and do nothing else. You work something else if you want it to deliberately breach, and you want to beat it up for Hod's mission or whatever. And besides, once it kills a clerk, it'll just go straight back anyway, so... yeah, there's that. Manageabilities plus, weapon, it's pretty good, what can I say? Suit, red resistant, what can I say? Yeah, there's nothing else to it. It's just there. I think I might have to start moving some of these up here at this point, because once we get into some of these, and I'm gonna start discussing a lot of abnormalities I really, really like. Bear. So tempted to put, no. It goes in very useless annoying. Is it worse than Grave? Is it worse than Grave? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say it's worse than Grave. We start the haze with a really, really annoying one. You have to play a constant memory game, and it's worse than Beauty and the Beast because you can't just do a specific work to, guarantee that you'll be safe. Because like with Beauty and the Beast, inside. With Happy Teddy Bear, you need to deliberately remember who you worked with. You check the work log, you search, you hope that you've got the right person. And there's a strong likelihood you'll probably just... they'll get hugged to death anyway. But yeah, if you can remember stuff, like, it's actually good, but it's my tier list, and I don't like the bear. Deals white damage, doesn't like inside. Training temperance on it is like all you can do, and it doesn't even train it very well, because it deals white damage. The punchy gloves, those exist, I guess. They're just better pony gloves, I guess. Suit, I'm pretty sure it's spread resistant. So that doesn't downgrade it, at least in my book. Oh wait, no, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a weakness. It doesn't have a red, white, black weakness, but it has like a neutral resistance or two. It's not that bad. I'm leaving it in very useless, annoying though to prove to. It's a point. I don't like it. That's all. That's all I have to say. Yeah. You can ignore it though, which is good. Shoes, red shoes. Now this is the point where I'm gonna have to start moving some of these down because red shoes is immediately a better fortitude trainer than all of these. Axe. Alright, we'll go to the ego. Ego, axe is good. It's pretty good. Stat checks. Gotta watch out for that. The suit, red resistant. It's got like a 0.5 or a 0.6 to red, that's always helpful. Love it. Yeah, training. Yeah, train fortitude on it. You might want to compare with instinct with insight to see whichever's higher if you're strictly looking for boxes. And yeah, so long as you can pass the stat check, it's a good high level fortitude trainer. I am now going to move some of these down. Better you go below old lady. Okay. Try move, you must be happy somewhat up because it's good for a tool. Okay, for a tool it's pretty good, I'll move it up here. Nameless Fetus. Here, with this abnormality we get the first entry into the top 3 fuckers list. Nameless Fetus. Oh my god, I hate that thing so much! Okay, you all know how it goes. You get... you all know how it goes. You get 13 out of 18. And then it starts crying, and then you have to restart the day because your ALEPH level abnormality just broke out. It's training, okay, fine. It's got good fortitude training, but unless you send someone with the highest possible fortitude and temperance anyway, it's gonna bust out crying, and that's gonna be... oh my god, and even if it's in a department with no escaping abnormalities, its crying is probably still enough to drive you insane. Oh my god, you can put a mute button on that thing, I swear to... oh my... oh, okay. Okay, but in all honesty, if you don't manage to tick it off, like, it's not too bad, I guess, and if you've completed the core suppression of where it is, you don't need to worry about it, it won't melt down. But even so, like, say it's like bitter suppression, and then suddenly it starts going off at the worst possible time, you know? This is mainly... Oh, here's my anecdote. I'm gonna chuck one in. I had Fetus in a department with 2 tools and Judgment Bird, set it off once at like Meltdown level 2, and unfortunately I decided that day was going to be a training day, so I had to deal with Judgment Bird repeatedly breaching for the entire day. Oh my god. I had to basically just have my Justicia agent solo it, and like a few others, while everybody else just dodged out of its way while it was going around and slapping pale damage onto everybody. Oh yeah, and I had Big Bird, so I had to constantly work him to make sure the bird wasn't getting angry at all the clerks dying. But yeah, oh my god, just... If you don't annoy it, it's fine. If you do annoy it, if you do set it off even once, it's an immediate restart. Like, there's no way around it, it's an immediate restart. Main problem is the fact that it's just so easy to tick off. Okay, enough complaining about Fetus, let's go into something that I also have complaints about. It's going higher than... Oh wait, nearly forgot. Ego. Weapon is fine. It's fine, it's okay. Suit. Can't remember if it's weak to red or not. Knowing how annoying it probably is weak to red. Alright, at the hair level you probably have more things to worry about than just being weak to red. Well, if, I think it's got black resistance, so you can tank an Arbiter Spike. Anyways. Oh yeah, the gift. Reduce wide damage by 5% and sap Fortitude and Prudence and Justice. Yeah, that's great and all. It's a helmet slot and all, but if I want something like that, I'm going to go to Yin. Alright, Singing Machine. Oh boy, the stat check, reverse stat check abnormality from goddamn hell. Get over here. Oh god, okay. Fortitude no higher than 3, Temperance no lower than 3. And all that for a sanity cannon that shoots yourself, harms yourself for more red damage. It's a sanity cannon that shoots yourself. And no suit, either. No. Oh god, it's a white dealing abnormality. It's gonna have a suit that's weak to red anyways. Frosting on the cake. Oh my god, and just like Nameless Fetus, if you set it off, frankly, it's not by RNG, it's by stats this time. You set it off, again, immediate restart. Because that immediately sets up a chain reaction that can't be stopped unless you have execution bullets and a willingness to kill off agents. Oh my god. The gift, and oh my god, and that brings me to the gift, the goddamn +8 fortitude. It means if you're working on it, the agent effectively needs to have 57 or lower fortitude if they want to be 10,000% sure to not set it off. Never pick this! Oh yeah, training prudence. That's it. Never pick this! It's so bad. Speaking of abnormalities that completely sus, that completely suck, and are reverse stat checkers, Woodsman. Not. Yeah, it's not as bad, I guess, but look, Singing Machine is such a low bar. Woodsman. God, what am I supposed to say? Oh yeah, all of the haze I've put in so far are currently in the very useless annoying category. Or worse. Hampers your temperance to 2 at most. Still not as bad as Meat Lantern. And if you don't do it at least it doesn't immediately insta-kill. I can give it the grace for that. And for that I'll put it lower than Don't Touch Me. It doesn't insta-kill you, and you know, like, it gives you a red axe, it gives you a suit that isn't weak to red. You know, basic stuff, it's fine, but every now and again your Temperance 2 agent will just get an inexplicable 8, it'll get a bad result, and suddenly you can't work with it. It's got a gift that gives you Temperance, so you can fail the stat check. Very funny, often you'll find yourself only being able to work this guy once a day. Or only a few times per day, or whatever. Just, oh my god, so annoying. But on the other side of hell, we have heaven. We have the Snow Queen. Oh, not there. Not here. Here. I cannot recommend the Snow Queen enough. For any facility, I cannot recommend the Snow Queen enough. First of all, training. Prudence training through the roof. Oh my god, her prudence rates are so good, and she deals a not insignificant amount of white damage, so you can actually get the damage modifier running. Temperance training as well, like though she deals white damage, she can do that, that's fine. And she also likes instinct, so for whatever reason you want to work instinct with her, that's also fine. Suit. Weak to red, that's like the only bad thing about her. Weapon. Slows enemies and it's a white spear. So good for panicking agents. Oh my god, especially those goddamn wandering agents. If you can land a hit, that gives you an opening to land some more hits, and that's good. That's so good. And then we get to the best part of all, the gift. Oh my god, if you have the patience, you can give +6 fortitude and prudence to your entire facility. What can I say? Well, oh, and you need fortitude 5 agents. For that, of course, but you know, what can I say? Great gift, great weapon, great training, great manageability. She ticks all the boxes. Alright, next up we have Reddit, who I'm also going to say get into my facility. In fact, I'm going to put you higher than once in. Maybe not higher than once in. Higher than armor? No. Armor, you really want armor for the 200 justice build. Reddit can beat with that. I'm gonna say Reddit competes with that. Reddit. It's a hay that breaches easily, so in case you needed one of those, yeah, you got that, so it's good for Hod's mission. Its breaching pattern, very easy to recognize. You just get out of its way and dogpile it once it's down. Training. Good for fortitude and justice. Justice more importantly, but fortitude also not insignificant. Its rates are pretty good, so it won't breach every 5 seconds. Oh, well, actually, no, sometimes it does. Yeah, manageability, that gets a tick from me. Gear. Suits. You get free 0.6 to red suits. Oh my god. It's so good. You give free agents the power to literally tank like a lot of green noon chainsaws for one, or like an amber dawn chomp, so even if they do get hit, as long as they have enough fortitude, they'll live. So then you can evac them before they get chomped again. And then we get of course we have the ridiculous weapon that hits 6 times and actually is affected by attack speed, so you can get some crazy goddamn damage for a hay weapon. And yeah, you have a gift that's supposed to give you more insight rate, but insight success rate doesn't work unless you get a mod. You know, that's never not a bad thing. And yeah, it just ticks all the boxes. I mean, it can be a little rough if you get it on day 7, though, and you have, like I don't know, like one agent that's fortitude free or something, and they're still likely to die. But yeah, there's nothing really bad to say about it. Unlike Ridolto, who goes in the... Ridolto's problem is that Ridolto is painfully average. Suits that I'm pretty sure are weak to red? Well, either way, they're not... I think even if they didn't do a red, like, they're not the best. Weapon is just upgraded penitence, there's nothing really good about it. Training, it does prudence, but not much else. Manageability, it breaches, and it's easy to put back. It's just pretty boring, if I had to say. Not like Reddit. Like, it's similar to Reddit in the breaching aspect, but like, it's just... It doesn't have the gear to back it up. And it only trains 1 stat and it's prudence, not 2 like Reddit does. And, you know, training 1 stat in a field of really good trainers, as we're about to see, is not enough. It's not enough. Yeah, I wouldn't put it annoying, though. Child. Bit hard to rank, but I'm gonna put it as mostly helpful. Actually, no. The fact is, if we balance out all the factors, it's helpful and annoying. All too often, more often than I'd like to admit, I've had someone die to accidentally sending them off something that isn't child. I've gotten better at that recently, but it's a problem, that's enough to put it down there. You can't ignore it though, so you know what? I'm gonna put USB out below it because it trains. Okay, no, it has its downsides, but there's no way I'm not putting it in top of mostly helpful. So long as you make sure that agent like just continuously work with it, or you just have an entire department dedicated to taking turns with the child. Yeah, it trains everything. It hates everything, which is good because you need that damage modifier with how much it's healing you. And you know, it's so good to the point that even a level 1 agent, even a Fortitude 1 agent with enough temperance can train on it and survive. So yeah, it trains Fortitude, it trains Prudence, it trains Temperance, it trains Justice. That last one's important, as I've mentioned all too often, because Justice trains twice as slow, and costs 3 times as much to level. Yeah, training. It trains, okay. That's all. Gear, right. The magic wand, that's got pistol range, funny black damage, nothing really bad about it. Suit, not weak to red, gets a plus from me. Is it weak to black? Can't remember, I think it is. I think it's weak to black, so not suitable for the funny spikes, but... whatever, what can you do? The gift, really good if you just need an agent to be constantly healing. Yeah. You can't really fault it in any way either. So overall, like, that's just it, yeah. Moving on to the next, we've got Letitia. Oh, and here begins the string of 4 abnormalities that I have nothing but praise for. Letitia gets another get into my facility. You rank above or below Punishing Bird? Above. Letitia. Let's go through the list. Training. A+ for Temperance. A++ for Temperance. Best Temperance hate trainer. Competes with several Varves, honestly. I can't say competes with several Varves when stuff like the Burrowing Heaven exists, but whatever. Really good hate Temperance trainer. Can train Fortitude too, that's our second best work. Gear. You got black damage. Gun. What else is there to say? Suit has no weaknesses. I'm fairly certain it doesn't. Yeah, you only get one of it, so it has no weaknesses. It's 0.7 to red, white, black. Weakness to pale, obviously, but you know, everything here has weakness to pale. So yeah, funny training, funny gear, manageability, easy. Like even if they get the gift, they're gonna be working with Letitia anyway because she's such a good trainer. Yeah. And even so, the gift is only given on normals anyway. Jeez, come on, Letitia's so good. Okay, funeral. Not quite Letitia level. Below child, but above megahertz. Justice trainer with the Fortitude caveat. The Fortitude caveat does make it easy to breach if you need it to breach, though. Again, it's a good Justice training. Its Justice training is on par with Der Freischütz, which makes them both, like, they're some of the best high-level Justice trainers. Suit, weak to red, unfortunate, but makes up with the guns, dealing white and black damage. Apart from needing to be careful when dealing with panicking agents, like, otherwise, no harm to it, you know? It's a funny gun. You shoot it. You funny gun, you shoot it, go pow. You can pretend to be Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Not Lumbus Company. Or is it? Or Library of Ruina, either. But yeah, manageability is fine, the reverse stat check is regrettable, but his sheer training and funny guns make him still worth it. Plus, come on, his drip is so good! His drip is good! There's a reason he's one of the most popular abnormalities out there, along with Der Freischütz. Goes right behind the mirror. Stat check of Justice free, literally the only bad thing about him. Oh, and the weapon being, you know, friendly fire. But its damage is just so good, you can solo a green dusk with that thing. Of course, that's because they're weak to black, but, you know, whatever. Details. Oh my god, if I could go on and on and on. Suit. Again, no weaknesses to red, white, black. Like Letitia. They're not... Kind of funny that we've got 3 really good abnormalities in a row. Yeah, whatever. Gun deals friendly fire, but it deals butt tons of damage. You can use him to shoot things if you want. He can clear out dawns for you. Yeah, not much else to say about him apart from the fact that he's just so good. Speaking of so good, Schadenfreude. Lower than Reddit and lower than armor. I still want Schadenfreude in basically every facility I'm in. You look away from it and it rewards you with justice training. Not quite as good as De Freischütz and Funeral, but the benefit is you can use them from Justice 1. So, you know, net positive on that end. And, you know, his red damage isn't so high as to the fact that it'll kill someone. But yeah, it's unfortunate that, you know, it doesn't like Instinct, so it's not like Reddit in which it trains 2 good stats. Well, it trains 2 stats well. The weapon, also a buzzsaw, it hits 10 times per attack, but doesn't benefit from attack speed, so if with enough justice, you know, Grinder will out DPS gaze. The suit has no weaknesses, red, white, black, and gets even better. I think it gets even better if your gaze agent is on screen. 0.8, 0.5, 0.8. And I get another plus, Schadenfreude is really easy to make breach, and really easy to suppress. All you need to do is lure it out, get your agents to dogpile onto it, and then just look away, open an abnormality menu, and check when the big suppressing logo on your agents goes away. And you can go ahead and look back at it. But yeah, you know, breaches easily, which is good. Good training for justice, good gear, and good manageability. What's not to love? Notes. First of all, I'm moving Skin Prophecy up here. Second of all, I'm moving Nose here. Notes. They give you Temperance. They give you plus 4% success rate in the form of 20 Temperance. In exchange for exploding an agent if they deal 60 damage, if they take 60 damage. Which is not a lot. You use this, you do 1 work, you put it back. That's how it is. That's how it's designed anyway, and that's how you use it if it ever melts down. Yeah, let's hope that one of your agents doesn't get exploded from one of Benner's black spikes. Not much to say about it. It doesn't really have a use. I've never really needed the Temperance, except if I'm dealing with, like, Queen of Hatred or something. And to be honest, that was only because I didn't have execution bullets at the time, or I had forgotten to use said execution bullets. Either way, Notes doesn't hold a candle to this next tool, which I absolutely despise. Not as much as you, 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 not as much as you. More than you. Giantry Sap. First usage is completely free. All subsequent usages are danger, danger, danger. Use a couple sacrificial agents to chug, 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 and get all the details, and then you ignore it until Binner Suppression on day 49, which you hope that that Arbiter doesn't roll it twice in a row or more, because otherwise one of your agents might just explode. Nothing else to say about that. Shelter. Shelter is useless. It's about as useful as Teresia, except on the occasion that you decided to cheese Red Mist. So for that, I'll put it here. It's not quite as bad as the two. All it does is breach abnormalities, but if it rolls like WhiteNight or something that's really, really bad, or any ALEPH in general, like, if it hits an ALEPH, jeez, come on. No. Oh, whatever. Yeah, we'll just leave it here. It's got 1 use, and otherwise, you know, it's not very good unless you're healing someone in between works. And that's probably only because you haven't done the attack score suppression yet. Scarecrow. Scarecrow's a decent bloke, unlike his buddy Woodsman, but he still gets the annoying to you. More so than Shelter? Yeah, because you actually have to interact with it. Also the Notes, and these tools as well. Yeah. How do I put, deletes ego, you never use, deletes ego, increases white resistance, explodes in it. Okay. Oh, well, it does have higher benefits as well. I'm putting it back. Okay. Scarecrow goes here. He's not useless. He's a really good prudence trainer when he's not breaching anyway. He's really good to easy to break out, mostly easy to suppress. It gives you rakes for the funny black damage, gives you suits that have red resistance, that's always nice. The gift can cause it to breach, it's fine, because it doesn't insta-kill, unlike almost every other reverse stat checker. Jesus, oh my god. You know, he has class, unlike Woodsman, which is good. I can appreciate that in an abnormality. And because it deals white damage and likes prudence, it likes insight. Its prudence training is frankly absurd. You can easily level someone to insight prudence 5 in a single day with this buddy over here. But he also breaches way too often, and he's a reverse stat checker. Moving on, portrait. Very few uses, but more than these. More than these. It goes in top of sorta helpful. And you know what? Shelter goes in top of sorta helpful. I'll take shelter if I want to stress test my facility though. Or if I want to choose red mist, I want to get some good photos. And most importantly, if Silent Orchestra is not in the facility. In any case, portrait. There's a few uses of this thing, it's pretty versatile. Use it on a weaker agent, try to divert the damage onto a stronger agent. Or if you're working with censored, you send the person to look at the portrait and continuously black shield the person actually receiving the damage. And you hope that the person receiving the damage isn't someone with like Fortitude and Prudence 2 or something. That happened to me. In any case, portrait. Same things happen if you get Melting Love in Central without execution bullets. And you're basically forced to work repression with it. But yeah. Much else to say about it? Yeah, it just exists. Borkubus. I like Borkubus. Sure, it's got a crazy high stat check, but, you know, and sure, it decreases your temperance, but small price to pay for a really good Fortitude temperance trainer. Like, you know, it's good. It's good. It's helpful. Alright, I hyped megahertz too much. Yeah, I hyped megahertz too much. Yeah, that's on me. I'm moving some of these down. Oh, we'll go spider button above, keep them though. But yeah, Porcubus, range 2 stats well on. The weapon, terrible black damage, deals white damage over time as well. It's okay, like, it's fine. No, the suit, it's weak to red. Doesn't really work in its favor. Manageability is pretty good, especially because of the fact that it at least tolerates all 4 works to the point where it's actually, if you have good enough agents, it's genuinely hard to make this guy breach. Without having someone die, of course. Of course, if someone dies, they need to actually get a good result. Yeah, whatever. Point is, really nice training. Gear could be better. Yep, not much to say. Anyways, here we go. Varv time. Queen of Hatred. Oh boy, Queen of Hatred. I have words to say about this one. Also, I'm moving Beauty and the Beast up here. I move red shoes above these two. I take these two over red shoes. Queen of Hatred. Yeah, what the hell am I saying? There's only one place in there. It's in the annoying tier. It goes above all of these. It's top of annoying tier. Not quite as high as Grave or Teresium. Or Plague Doc, actually. Or Skate Rover. Jesus, Queen of Hatred. I could. You don't pick this if you don't have execution bullets or like a TETH that can easily breach and kill 3 clerks for you. Training, borderline useless because it heals you every work, but you know, it's fine, it's fine. Gear, good. You get the best support weapon in the game. And a suit with and a barb suit with no weaknesses. Always nice. Gift is like one of the best in slots, I think. Check. Manageability, that's where, you know, everything goes to pot, you know, gotta either do the cheese or, you know, kill 3 clerks, and if you forget, bad stuff happens, and it's really annoying to put Queen of Hatred back. She's not quite very annoying to you. I'd still like to have her just, like, only once for the ego, and then, you know, leave. Please. Big Bird, get into my facility. Actually, no, mostly helpful. Big Bird is a member of Clerk. He goes top of mostly helpful because he's a member of, only because he's a member of Clerk Lives Matter. That's why he's not going into get in the fucking into my facility. But still, he is the most lenient of Clerk Lives Matter because you can actually increase his clear off counter for good work results. And he's a really good trainer for Temperance and Fortitude. No, that weapon it gives you decreases decreases target's black resistance for a few seconds. So good, oh my god, and he gives you a suit with no weaknesses. Come on, man. And the gift is good too. More temperance, who doesn't love that? Manageability, logos matter, I've already discussed that. But yeah, so long as you keep working with him, he'll only breach if something really bad is happening or it's day 49. One or the other. Apple. Mostly helpful. I'm gonna put Apple below Child. Yeah, below Child. Would I take Apple over Child? I would take Apple over Child, actually. I'd take Child over Funeral. No, I'd take Funeral over Child, but I'd take Child over Porco. No, I would not. Okay. That rearranged aside. Jesus, oh my god. Apple. Really really tempted to put into the sort of useless annoying tier because she's such a pain to put back. But if she doesn't breach, she's such a good Justice Trainer, it's unbelievable. And gear, weapon, Black Spears, who's not to love, gift, increases damage, awesome. Suit, pretty sure resists red and black, which is always nice. With the red dealing ordeals, and the black spikes with an arbiter. And yeah, there's not much else to it. Just Apple. Training, good. Gear, good. Dealing with it, bad. That's it. If you don't need to do Gabra's Survive quest, it is pretty useful though. Then again, so is Queen of Hatred. Actually no, I would not recommend using Queen of Hatred for it, even though it would be easy. Big Bird. Nah. Queen Bee. Now this one is, I'm very confident in putting in the middle, because it is helpful. Yes, it is also very annoying, and for that reason I'm putting it below these, because these are easy to handle, even though this is far more useful than. Queen Bee is amazing Fortitude Trainer, Verdue Insight if you purely want boxes and success rate. If you don't have Wrench Shields, don't pick Queen Bee if you value your sanity. And if you do, just only stock the department with red resistant agents. Please do that. Make sure they can tank 80 valve level red damage. Yeah, yeah, there's nothing else to it. It exists. Gear. Weapon, suit, and gift all seem like a direct upgrade to Letitia. The gift, that's a hat. The suit, it's also 0.7. The weapon, pow pow, it's a gun. It's a red gun, bro, not a black gun. You know, it's just everything but its manageability is good. What can I say? Yeah. It goes in the middle because it's annoying if it gets out. Oh boy! Oh, I hate this thing so much. It goes above there. It goes above tree sap. It goes above this guy. Oh my god, I might even put it up here, honestly. No, it's not sinking machine bad. Yeah, I'm putting it here. I'm leaving it. Yeah, I'm leaving it. I'm putting it above. Mr. Insta-kill. All reurn. All reurn. All right. It's like Silent Orchestra, but worse in every single way. Breaches on goods. Breaches on bads. Threading the needle. You use, what is it, Insight? I think that was the one. It wasn't Repression. Repression was too low. Attachment was too... No, Instinct was too high. No, Attachment was the one you went with, because Insight was also too high. So, yeah, the weapon, frankly amazing. It's an upgrade to crossbow. It's an upgrade to Lady Facing the Walls crossbow. Crossbows are nice. Suit, weak to red. Ugh, but fine. Gift, very pretty. Yeah. But Jesus, oh my god, its breaching is so annoying, and you have, because it teleports. And it teleports so much faster than Apple as well, and it comes in, slaps you with a bunch of white damage, which probably panic kills half your agents, and then leaves. So goddamn rude. You can't even use black shield. You can't even use shields like you do with Apple, because it just hits straight through those. It deals more than 50 damage. Unless they have crazy white resist. Like, hate you so much. I don't hate you. You're mostly helpful. Above Big Bird, though. Because, well, you know, you breach on other abnormality breaches, except for Punishing Bird, of course. Fortitude training, amazing. Do insight if you want, boxes, if you want, like Queen Bee. Gear. Good, you get some good red damage. You get a 0.6 suit. That is an amazing suit. My god. What else? Gift, best in slot. Manageability. Good. You can have her hunt something down, which, even if it doesn't kill him, it'll at least delay him. Like, she can probably deal with a green dusk on her own. Like, she can deal with dusks. None of the midnights, though. She'll be chasing up. She'll be chasing, actually, no. You could have her deal with one of the shrines. You could actually have her deal with the Pale Shrine. The Violet Midnight, actually. Alright. Amber Dawn, no point. No, Amber Midnight, no point. Green Midnight, she gets vaporized. As for the ALEPHs, doesn't have enough DPS for Silent Orchestra. Nothing there is immune. Melting Lava absorbs. Army kills itself. She can only target one of Army. Blue Star's probably killed half the facility at that point. Censored. Has more. It's just bulkier. It will outlast her. Mountain depends if it's phase 3 or not, and what attacks it decides to use. And don't bother with these two. You can send her after a non small big egg if you want, but honestly your agents are perfectly fine for that. Yeah, red's good. That's all there is to say. Wolf, not quite as good. The mercenary stuff's really good, but Wolf is not quite as good. I'll put it in here. You know, he's harmless. Fortitude training, temperance training, not Clerk Lives Matter like Big Bird. Really hard to mess up with. Though he does deal a buttload of damage, so yeah. So be a bit careful if you're using him for fortitude training at very high overload rates. And what else is there to say? Gift is good. Unique slot. You get it. That's all there's to say. Weapon, damage. You get damage over time. Always nice. Suit. Really good against red damage. Holy moly. So if you're dealing with a big red threat like nothing there, and you want to be able to tank some of its non-goodbye attacks, bring this. Anyways, time for... oh boy, okay. Yeah, this goes above Snow Queen. Not even a question, it goes above Snow Queen. Judgment Bird. Alright, I'm making it clear right now. Judgment Bird is my favorite abnormality in Lobotomy Corporation from a design standpoint and a gameplay standpoint. I love the Judge aesthetic. I love the fact that it's a bird, and I love the fact that it deals pale damage. Then it's all about that pale damage. Pale damage, they link it to Judgment, and he has this, and he is a Judgment Bird. He has the scales. He deals the pale work damage, and you're gonna sit there and you're gonna take it. Inside is his best work instinct, if you're feeling brave and you want to train some fortitude really well. Of course, there's always the off chance that Judgment Bird will straight up just kill that agent, but whatever. You get ALEPH level gear. Really, really good ALEPH level gear. Like, Justicia straight up, like, hits 5 times. It hits 5 times per 5 times per attack. Sure, it's not competing for DPS alongside the big names such as Gold Rush and Takapo, but it's still, oh my god, it is pale damage. It is pale damage that you can wield, and it is not insignificant pale damage. It's like it's the best pale damage you can get in the game, outside Twilight and Paradise Lost. Oh, it's just so good. And the suit, you can just, no, it actually has resistances to everything. It has no weaknesses, and I actually mean that to pale as well this time. It just halves the damage of everything. You can just say, no, I don't want that damage. It's just so good. There's nothing else I can say. Judgment Bird. That's just, it's the abnormality of all time. Phrase the bird. Okay. Gold. King of Wood. Is she annoying enough to go here? Yes. Top of that tier then. Because while she does breach a lot, she gets set off easily like Queen Bee, it's not a guaranteed insta-kill. Instead, she just kind of wanders the area, and, you know, it's a tankier Amber Dusk that teleports. You just have everyone stand by, and when the King of Greed gets near, you bust her down. From the appropriate side, of course. Gear, you get Gold Rush. Jesus, Gold Rush. Crazy high DPS. Third at highest in the game, second highest if it's got the damage booster active. Of course, it is really short range, so you can't use it against Green Midnight. It also means you're vulnerable more to like stuff like Apostle Grabs and stuff. You have less reaction time for that. Suit, again, no weaknesses. That's always so good. Weakness to fail, of course, we're not talking about Judgment Bird. And, training, Fortitude, and Temperance sort of, but mainly Fortitude. You don't like Queen Bee? Get this thing. Or if you don't like... And again, it is competing with stuff like Big Bird, Judgment Bird, so... And Wolf's Fortitude training is better, but no. Gold Rush, it's so good. Okay, Prince. Oh god. Prince is going in the lower half of this because of how annoying it is. It'll go below these, not in terms of use, because it goes above them. It goes above, separate the ZAYIN attempts. Yeah, actually no, it goes below Queen Bee. Above Queen Bee, I choose this over Queen. Would I choose it over Queen Bee? I think I would. Spore, too good to pass up. The white damage, the white resistance weakening, so good. White damage just hits so much harder, especially since you have Breather and it has a fast speed, unlike ALEPH and Exuvii. And Suit, well, does it have a red weakness? I think it doesn't. It has a black weakness, so it's not suitable against an Arbiter. But yeah, in terms of manageability, it's a harder memory to game to play than Beauty and the Beast. But worst case scenario, you pull someone out from another... But all you really need to do is have one person work it, then something else, and then you can have that guy work in again, and you just need to... If you're really nervous about the insight check, just only work insight. It can train that. Of course, its best training is with Temperance and Justice, so I'd recommend making use of that, but, you know, if you want to just cover your bases and work only inside, that's fine. It trains pretty completely fairly. Like, the training alone just makes Little Prince stand out so much. And then we have the gear, that's another dollop of ice cream. Of course, then you have the, then you've got the manageability to deal with the memory game, but, you know, it's fine. Like, the training and gear is worth it. Jeez, I'd pick it. I would pick it. If it came to me, I would pick it over a lot of other Varbs, like Queen of Adrian, actually. Black Swan. Mostly helpful. Yeah, it deserves to go in mostly helpful. But how high do I put it? I think we're gonna put it here. 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 I'd take it over Swan. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm taking Big Bird over these two. Yeah, nothing much about it. Yeah. Dream Current. Okay, Dreaming Current. This is a weird one. The TETH disguised as a Valve deals white damage, but, you know, but likes attachment, likes repression, not as much as attachment, likes instinct. No, yeah, it likes instinct the most. It's fine. It's also fine with attachment and repression. Okay. Yeah, I typically use this thing for justice training because it deals white damage. So don't use it for fortitude training ever, unless you're just looking for something safe to work with. Temperance training, it does fine with that. It's not really bad. It's just kind of okay. The weapon sucks. The suit is good though, so I'm putting it below. King of Greed. It's strictly worse than these two, but it's safer. Easy to manage. If it breaches, it's terrible, but It's safer. Borrowing Heaven. Very lethal, very dangerous. Oh my god. But I can never stop picking it. The training is so good. You get the it trains Temperance. It trains Justice. It trains Prudence. Burnout as well. It deals black damage, so it's good at training them. Red Weapon. Red Spear. What can I say? It's good. Suit, weak to red. Fine, whatever. Helmet. It looks very unique. Manageability, just keep it on screen. Which is usually not a problem unless you're preoccupied by something else, like for example Red Mist or an Arbiter. Usually the latter. Why did I mention Red Mist? Why are you working things when suppressing the Red Mist? Whatever, yeah. It's just, the training alone just makes Heaven so good. It's like, you get one of the best Temperance trainers in the game, and one of the best Justice trainers in the game, in a single package. Plus some good spears. It's good. It's safe. It's good. You just leave it be, and you squeeze as much as you can out of it before it messes you up. It's gonna mess you up at least once or twice. Night of Despair, get in. It's a real contest as to which is better of the two. Like, Judgment Bird has way better gear, good training, and can breach. Whereas Night of Despair gives you the crazy buff, gives you worse gear, questionably better training. Due to bias and nothing more, I'm going to put Judgment ahead. Night of Despair has everything good you want from an Abnormality. Training, trains Prudence and Temperance. Gear, you get a funny white damage rapier that can unpanic agents pretty damn quickly, like surprisingly quickly. That special attack may only deal 1 damage like 9 times, but 9 times is still a lot. And the suit, one of the only suits that isn't, no, I'm pretty sure it's the only suit that isn't ALEPH level that has a resistance that actually resists Pale. It's got that 0.8 to Pale. If you get Night of Despair before Judgment Bird is completely safe. You don't have to risk it with a 1.5 agent. And the buff is so good. You have an agent that's maxed in stats, and you can just have him be on suppression duty, get him to do that, and you can have other agents train their Prudence and Temperance while they're at it. Night of Despair is just so good. Never get a facility without her if you can do it. If you can get her, yeah. 10 out of 10. A+. A++. Amazing. Naked Nest. Mostly helpful. Occasionally you can just randomly kill your agents. That's gonna be a thing that happens. It never happened to me, yet. But yeah, so long as you work Instinct and Instinct only, because that's what it's designed to be. It's a Fortitude trainer and a Fortitude trainer only. Yeah, it won't really bother you too much. Like, occasionally get a 15 and you'll suddenly panic because you got a neutral result, and then you'll see that they're probably fine because they won't have taken much damage. It's always the chance, of course, so, don't work it too much if you can't help it. But overall, it's pretty safe for an insta-kill capable Valve. Yeah, you get 8 ZPI from it. Oh my god, love it. Increased red damage. Pair it with a Mimicry user, and you can make that Mimicry user go to absolute town. Suit. Red resistance. That's good. We love it. We love to see it. And yeah, there's not really much to say about it. Otherwise, I'm gonna put it... I'd pick Apple above it. I'd pick Funeral above it. I'd pick Porco above it. I'd pick Child above it. And these two are kind of unranked because they're on completely different levels. Next. Flesh Idol. Oh boy. Very useless, annoying, no contest. Worse than Bear. Not worse than Trace, I don't think. Black Count Bracelet is worse. Yes. We can change anything. It's not worse, it's just useless. This one is just very annoying. Forces you to count to 5. Count those ticks every 5 seconds. Yeah, there's nothing else to it. Let's just get this over with because this video's gone on for long enough already. Train. Yeah, where else did you think this was gonna go? Of course it was gonna go up here. God, everybody hates this thing, and it's for a reason. It is a constant drain on your concentration. You have to constantly Keep it in the back of your mind, otherwise your entire facility is going to get slapped for 100 black damage. Oh, and it's even worse on Hawkman suppression. We have to check on it every minute. You have the times 10 speed mod, you have to check on it every few seconds! Oh my god. Yeah, just never pick this. Oh my god, literally anything is better than this absolute trash of an abnormality. Okay. Dimensional refraction variant. Helpful. I'm putting it, I'd pick Big Red over it. I'd pick Red over it. I'd pick Wolf over it. I'd pick Heaven over it. I would pick it over Swan. Okay. Okay. Dimensional refraction variant. It trains prudence very well. That's its main purpose. Training prudence. Trains justice also well. It breaches, if you have an agent with low enough temperance, it can breach easily, which is good for the Opera's Bar mission. Manageability, it gets a fat A+. It likes all 4 work types, so it's actually hard to breach if you don't have an agent with temperance 3. Well, 3 and under, that is to say. Gear-wise, again, it's just upgraded penitence, the same as Christmas. But yeah, diffraction there's nothing bad about it, really. The gear's just painfully mediocre. The gift, very snazzy. Love the goggles, it's nice. But yeah, you pick this guy for the training of 2 stats, and the funny sanity hammer, invisible hammer, and for the ability to breach it easily. That's it. Yeah. Side note, I don't think I've actually done Swan yet. I'm gonna do it now. Why I placed Swan here? Alright, so Swan. Well, likes 3 works, but only level 3 and above. Likes Instinct, Insight, Repression, but because it deals white damage, you're usually just going to be training Justice and Prudence. Its Repression rates are actually higher, so you want to be training Justice a lot, which is good. It's good Justice training. Good. Weapon, Reflect, damage is not what I'd call good, but, damage reflection, always nice, just a little ace in the hole. Just don't keep any agents in this around Punishing Bird, unless you want to go on a wild bird chase, while having an agent run like hell. The suit, you know, red resistance, that's nice. I don't know if it has a black resistance. I forgot, I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, it's fine. If it doesn't have a black resistance, just don't pick it when up against an arbiter. Easy. And yeah, manageability, pretty easy. It's really hard to tick off all 5. Worst case scenario, you just don't work with it. Unless it melts down, of course, but yeah, that's a whole other issue. Okay, next up we have Firebird. Ooh, okay, it goes in. Yeah, it's more annoying than helpful. It's weapon, and I love the aesthetic. Yeah, I take it over trophy card. Fire and water. Okay. It's another, you know, lowers on good, but like, look, once you've worked in, look, it goes back on its own, so it's no real big threat. Does crazy room-wide red damage, so be careful of that. You dogpile it if you want to get the weapon, which is, it's like a mini sound at the start, you know, you fire volleys of white damage. DPS isn't the best, but the range is very respectable. So yeah, that's good. Suit. Resistant to red and white and weak to black, I know that for certain. So don't pick it against an arbiter, but it's pretty serviceable anywhere else, really. And yeah, it's pretty easy to manage overall. Don't touch it unless you have to, in which case do the worst work type. Okay, that's Firebird. Nothing else to say about that. Yin and Yang! Oh boy, these are going to be on complete opposite ends of the spectrum. Yin. Oh my god. Oh my god. Actually, no. Yin goes top. Yin goes top of mostly helpful. Yin on its own, amazing. Amazing. The Prudence training, immaculate. The Fortitude and Justice training, not immaculate, but really good. The gear. Discord. Oh my god, I love the weapon attack animations. I love them so much. Okay. That aside, though, in terms of manageability, just don't work it too much over the course of a meltdown level. That's all there is to it. Otherwise, you know, you start getting bad results and if it escapes, it deals bullshit amounts of black damage, and we don't like that. The suit, weak to red, which is air. Endures black moves, so it's good against an arbiter. So yeah, nothing else to it. The gift. Gotta mention the gift. Integral part of the 200 Justice setup, alongside Magic Bullet and Crumbling Armor's gift, which I've forgotten the name of, Practice Foolishness, or Inspired Bravery. Right, that's what it was. Discord gift. It sacks some Fort and Prudence for good plus 20 Justice, and you get an 8% chance to just not take damage on top of that. What's not to love? Jesus. On the other hand, you have this thing, which is Teresia, but worse. Wisdom Bell, not Wisdom Flesh Idol. You pick it up, put it down, and forget about it. Don't interact with it don't interact with it at all if you don't have to. Yeah, just it exists. I hate how it's tied onto Yin, but you know, you can't have one without the other. So interesting that the supposedly good one is really bad, and the supposedly evil one, the bad one, is really good. I almost have a feeling it was designed that way. In all honesty, Product Mode probably did. Okay, backward clock. Better than you, better than you, better than you, better than you. I'll put it below once in. Backward clock. You pick it for an Arbiter phase 2, and if your facility goes to absolute crack. Yeah, like, you just use it in the worst case scenario, and that worst case scenario is usually day 49, or an Arbiter. If you're okay with taking a death, you can use this to limit the amount of deaths you can have on those days. It's really good. So, you just use it, yeah. It's best factor abnormality, and it's not even close. Leluda. Mostly helpful, not Yin level, not Big Bed level. Yeah, it's like heal level. Yeah. I'd pick it over Swan. Deals white damage, but you can't do insight. Instead, you can only perform. Perform, you get a small Temperance Justice boost. It's nothing big. Don't take it. It'll lower the cliff count. Yeah. So the only real option you have is training Temperance on it. It's not the best of that, but that's fine. The weapon, though, that's the real draw. Oh, that weapon! You get black shields of galore, black shields galore. The second support weapon. It's good. It's good. You can it's enough shielding to. I think it's like half duration shields. I'll have to test them. But yeah. Yeah, pick it for the shields. Suit, no weaknesses. Can I say? It's good. Yeah, not much to add about that. Oh, right, yeah, if it breaches, you get demonetized, unless you get the mod that changes out the music. And also, what else? There's red and black damage when escaping, but white in containment. Very funny, very funny. Yeah, and it doesn't count towards Valve suppression missions. Woohoo! Parasite Tree, we have the third of the top 3 fuckers. Oh my god, Parasite Tree. Oh. Instead of the time-gated ones, it is a time-gated Express Train to Hell. It's the Works-gated Parasite Tree. Which says, hey, work me, hey, work me, hey, work me, or else these guys will die. Yeah, it's gonna go for your agents. Gotta work it. I mean, sure, if you execute enough clerks, you could theoretically just not have to deal with it, but like, to actually remember them, so it's like Queen of Adrian, but worse, and there's always the chance that it'll just pop off, so oh my god. Of course, if you have the work macros mod, you can render it a complete non-threat at all. But like, if you're not using that sort of mod, you have to constantly keep remembering it. Red crossbow, not as good as white crossbow. I can't remember the resistance of the suit for the life of me, because I never want to see this thing. But I think it's weak to red? However, weak to red, not weak to red, doesn't matter to me, because I just hate this thing. Deals white damage, it likes insight, but it heals your SP, so kind of bad train. Monk! Very useless and annoying. Yeah. Second member of Clerk Lives Matter, it's going on the almost opposite end of the first. Worse than though. Worse than Yang. Not worse than Yang. Fairly easy to suppress, but the fact is, you can't raise its cliff counter. It likes insight, deals white damage, but it heals your SP, so pointless trying to train with it. Well, mostly pointless, you can try. There's no other option to working with it anyway. Unless there is, and I've just forgotten it, I don't know. Suit, really good, like the soul redeeming factor. You just 0.5 to red, not gonna say no to that. Weapon sucks. Hits 3 times per attack, but like, come on, why is the damage so low? I'm fairly certain it's meant to have a special ability to it, but it's bugged and doesn't work. Someone could tell me what that ability is, that would be great, thanks. And yeah, that's Monk, Collect Lives Matter. Okay, Valves are done, so we finally get to the ALEPHs, 9 very, very, very special abnormalities. Nothing there. Get in, get in, get in. The Boyer is here. Not mirror level. Pretty goddamn close. The Boyer. Nothing there. He's best doggo. Transtemperance. Sort of. Transfortitude. Very well, but with the occasional chance of random insta-kill and going hello, hello, if you don't roll too well. Ego. Mimicry. Like, sure, its DPS isn't in the higher echelons of gear, but like, it's one of 4 ALEPH weapons to actually scale off attack speed, and it's got the recovery bonus. So, you have this guy, you give this to someone, and they just... It's gonna take a lot to get them to die, let's just say that. Like, a really big hit. Several really big hits, in fact. And the suit, 0.2 to red, self-explanatory, you know? It just... You'd love to see it. Get that suit. Yeah, nothing else to say about it. Gift. It's buff for the weapon, and also for the censored weapon. Yeah, not much else to it. It's a pretty rare gift. It's a good gift, must say. Rare to get, very hard to get. And yeah, you just get this guy for the gear, get this guy for the absurd gear, and the training, of course. And yeah, that's all there is to it. Safe. If he gets out, he's an absolute pain to put back. You have to put in so many resources, but otherwise, yeah, you shouldn't be getting out if you're managing him too well. Then we get the abnormality that works in the exact opposite way, the silent orchestra. In terms of sheer annoyance, he goes into opposite top of annoying to you. But yeah, you have to thread the needle with this guy. Frantically decide between repression, and then insight, and then attachment once you get your overload levels get really low. And then just get super annoyed once you see the silent orchestra get a 19 anyway and get inspired to get out and start playing some laughs and movement free. Okay. God, yeah, you get this guy, I love the silent orchestra's design, bro. So good. I pick him all the time for design alone. And the ego, of course. DeCapo, second highest DPS in the game, third if DeCapo's buff is active. No, not DeCapo's buff. Third if Gold Rush's buff is active. But yeah, it's second in the majority of circumstances, hits 4 times per attack, has the special attack, of course, which amps the DPS even more. Suit, it's got the only ALEPH suit, well, one of the few ALEPHs. Yeah, the only ALEPH suit with a weakness to Pale. Really annoying. I suppose they put that as compensation for the possibility to, frankly, just absorb white damage. But that becomes less useful the further you go on. I mean, sure, you slap him with a non-white weapon and, you know, they solo the white fixer, but you'd never send just one agent to the white fixer. You send like 15 of them to repeatedly get it to damage reflection before it can get off even a single attack. Or 2 at most. You do not want it to pull off the funny 270-degree attack. But that's a topic for another video. Silent Orchestra, love his gear, hate his gimmick, don't bother training with him, don't bother interacting with him ever once you've gotten gear. And yeah, that's there is to it. Mountain, ooh. Third member of Collect Lives Matter. He goes here. Yeah. Most helpful out of these guys, but still super annoying to deal with. You basically have to have a squad camped out with him if you don't have execution bullets and like there's a pilot noon incoming. And if he breaches, you know, he's fairly easy to put back. I mean, sure, his red damage might get rid of a couple lower leveled agents, but that's their fault for being lower leveled. And yeah, gear. Right. 0.2 to black, that's the suit. And it absorbs corpses to get rid of Mountain's gimmick. So it doesn't level up further and become massive pain. Nothing there in blue star level 3 at level 3. Weapon. It isn't affected by attack speed, unfortunately, but does have a pretty crazy special attack that deals a buttload of damage. And it does slow enemies on hit, which is very nice. And it can give you some bonus fortitude and justice if you haven't reached the max. It's fine, but it resets on the day, so at least I'm pretty sure it resets every day. Anyways, whatever. Point is, smile, good ego. And, you know, training-wise, he trains your fortitude, he trains your justice, he trains them both really, 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 really well. So it's really good for ramping up your level 4 stats into level EXs. Get to that final frontier. Yeah, and in terms of suppressing free ALEPHs, good pick for that, along with Silent Orchestra. Speaking of another good pick for it, Censored. Egos are mostly helpful. I'd pick it. I wouldn't pick it over Big Bird, but I would pick it over Red. Censored. Hard to deal with. Really, really hard to deal with if you don't have something like Portrait. Or like really, really good Black Resist. But if you can get this guy's weapon, it immediately invalidates his threat, basically. Yeah, it's sort of halfway in between the camp of the two different ALEPHs, you know, the ones that don't breach often but are devastating if they breach, or breach really often but aren't as devastating relatively. It's like somewhere in the middle. It's not as easy to breach or hard to breach, but it's not as devastating or not as devastating. Like, it's somewhere in the middle. It's easy enough to suppress because of how goddamn slow it is. As long as you bring level 5 agents, have them take a look, then evac to recover their sanity, then have them go in for real. It does pretty high black damage attacks, but you know, you have black shields, and hopefully you have like agents that won't, you know, die in like 2 hits. Dealing with it. At the level 5, they shouldn't be dying in 2 hits from it anyways. So yeah, get it for the gear, and it's frankly absurd training as well. I once got 31 prudence from a single inside work. Of course, that agent was on like 1 sanity by the end of it, but you know, fair trade. Next one, Blue Star. It goes right next to Nothing There. In fact, it's even better than Nothing There. I'd even waited to go and say it's better than Mirror. Blue Star, it is the most harmless ALEPH in Containment. It's got a cliff-off counter of 2, so you get even more leniency than Nothing There's stat checks. It's a stat check for sure, but if you can pass those, it's fine. Got the 60 seconds, but again, that's another temperate stat check. And yeah, all you need to really do is just work insight and repression. You train that prudence and justice. You get its gear. You get its crazy gear. You get its 0.4, 0.4, 0.4 gear, with inbuilt SP recovery for everyone in the hallway. And you get its weapon, which can attack multiple enemies in a room. And it deals crazy white damage. Jeez, come on. It's good. Good training. Good gear. If it gets out, it's about as bad as Nothing There, depending on where it spawns. But, yeah, otherwise, you treat it well, it treats you well. That's all there is to it. There might be some agents running cults in the background, but, you know, I haven't seen them, so whatever. Blame it on the clerks. Execution bullet them. Always execution bullet your clerks. Army, oh boy, it's going straight to top of very useless annoying. Yep. Okay. Clerk Lights Matter, 15 clerks and it's done. Oh my god. Sure, you can raise the cliff-off counter by releasing like something like Forsaken Murder and beating his shit in. But oh my god, you're like... Anything sets this thing off. Anything! And also, because it's bugged as a ZAYIN, it doesn't even train well, even though it deals white damage and likes inside, and that's the only work you can actually do with it. The Protect one, that decreases its cliff-off counter. Sure, you get some recovery, but it decreases its cliff-off counter. When it breaches even more things. One ends up in Nothing There's department, oh, you better deal with it, otherwise you're gonna get a much more dangerous threat. God, it's just a catalyst for so much worse that can happen. Oh my god. Suit is fine, I suppose, it's good, I guess. Weapon, apart from the setup time, it's actually like really good. Sound of a Star still outclasses it in almost every waiver. But oh my god, trading is bad. Gear is like the only salvation. Manageability is bad. Protect feature, you can heal during NetSec's core suppression, so what? I never recommend this. God, I hate it so much. You get it for the gear, you repo it out. That same thing can be said about Melting Love, who goes in the useless annoying tier right above Silent Orchestra. Oh, you have to clear out the department to work with it, or at the very least the hallway and the department's clerks. and you just have one person dedicated to it, and hoping it doesn't go down to 0. And otherwise, you have to, if you don't have execution bolts, then you got to repress it and hope that your agent survives. Use portrait if you can. Just, oh my god. Weapon is on the lower half for an ALEPH gear. It's not as good, I'd say. So it's got that shield if they almost die, but it's fine, I suppose. It does. You do get a 0.3 to red. You can't count that out. That's good. That's very good. But it's such a pain to manage. Jesus. Oh, hate it. Hate it. Melting love. Okay, some people like melting love. I don't. I don't. Now we get to our final 2 abnormalities. I've saved these 2 especially for the very last, the boss abnormalities. Apocalypse Bird and WhiteNight. Apocalypse Bird, kinda hard to rank, honestly, but I'm gonna put it right above Blue Star, above Snow Queen, actually. Because, well, okay. Training, complete non-factor. Manageability, complete non-factor. You only have to consider how easy it is to get Judgment Bird, Punishing Bird, and Big Bird to breach. And it's pretty easy. I need to push a guide on Apocalypse Bird eventually. Whatever. Gear. Oh my god, the eager. Jeez. First off, you get +7 to all stats. +7 to all stats. +7 to all stats. Jesus, oh my god. Just defeating it, which is way easier than it may seem. And then, once you beat it, you get, oh my god, you get Twilight. You get Twilight, the irresistible force of all eager weapons. We'll see the immovable object in a sec, but Twilight, so much damage, the best DPS in the game. Even the suit is a weapon. Pair the weapon with the suit, with the gift, and you just become an unstoppable force of destruction. Give your disciplinary captain this for even more damage, plus 20%. Oh, we love to see it. And suit, 0.5, 0.3, 0.3, 0.3, 0.5, you know. Sure, you'll have a bit more trouble dealing with the Pale Fixer, but you know, it's fine because Twilight just deals so much damage! Oh, it's so good! But yeah, nowhere else I can rank it. Like, the whole reason Punishing Bird goes so high, or Big Bird goes so high, no, Punishing Bird would be in mostly helpful. Actually no, he'd be in sort of helpful, sort of useless, annoying if it weren't for Apocalypse Bird, but he goes in to get fucking into my facility just because of APOC. You know, I like the guy. He's a bird. I like him. WhiteNight. Ooh. WhiteNight is very, very hard to rank. I think he's the very pinnacle of sort of helpful, sort of useless, and actually, I think he might go on more of the annoying tier. He's annoying, but with huge benefits. That's what I'd describe him as. Yeah, he's best of annoying, but he has huge benefits. Yeah, like, sure you have to babysit him like the train, but in exchange you get that crazy suit. Paradise Lost, the immovable object. 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, or 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.3, which is infinitely worse if you don't have WhiteNight with the facility. If you're a Mad Lad and you decide to suppress him, which good luck doing. It's easier if you're Yin and Yang, of course. You suppress him, you get the funny weapon, which essentially renders that person a complete and utter tank. Indestructible tank of absolute destruction. No, the absolute destruction bit, that's Twilight. But yeah, it gives you full heals. Hard to time full heals, but it gives you periodic full heals if you can land good results continuously. And yeah, manageability is annoying. Training is... You don't train on him. Ego is best or second best in the game, depending on who you are. Yeah, he's annoying with many benefits. Yeah, I'm not putting him here, I'm putting him here. The best of here. Because, like, his benefits, like, sure, he's super annoying to deal with, and if he breaches, immediate restart. But, the gear is so good. I just realized something. You know the group where it's hard to breach, but devastating if they do, and easy to breach, but not as devastating? I think WhiteNight takes the worst aspects of both. He's devastating if he breaches, and it's pretty easy for him to breach. Well, no, I mean, not pretty easy. He does give you a pretty generous 4.5-minute timer. But, yeah. Anyways, that's it. If you've skipped to the end, you've probably got a lot of questions about some of these. I recommend you go check out the specific sections for whatever you've got questions on. Either way, that's really all I have to say. LobCorp's a fantastic game, and this is how I'd rank each of the fantastic abnormalities. Well, most of them fantastic. All of these are kill yourself. But yeah, otherwise, that's it. I think yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with this tier list. It's mostly ordered, but take it with a grain of salt, especially with some of the TETHs, because they're kind of unrankable with the VARVs. Like, treat the VARVs as one tier list and the TETHs as another, in all honesty. But yeah. As always, I guess I'll be signing off. As for my next video, it could be Olympus, could be something else, could be the LobCorp. I know I said I'd talk about the Google translated abnormalities, but don't think I'll be doing that actually. Stuff's come up, and I don't think that's feasible any longer. But I've got other things to say, like, for example, guides on each abnormality, hopefully accompanied by a video, assuming I can actually get said abnormality. Looking at you, Army in Black. But whatever. Maybe I'll provide guides on like the core suppressions as well. Yeah, the core suppressions and the final few days, especially day 49. I know that a lot of people would. I don't know. I just don't think. I'm fairly certain I haven't seen a guide on day 49 before, so I think it'd be interesting to try and make one. Also clarify the requirements depending on which route you go for. I have a run that I'm currently building up towards a Hockman route, but still not quite there yet. We're still pretty far off. But we are in pursuit of perfection there. But yeah, that is all I have for now, and I suppose I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.